Well, being back in the city, I really feel more comfortable in a place where public transportation smells a little like piss. And I think there's a real gorgeousness to that. And I'm out of the city now and I really miss it. And I think that's something that's both disgusting and gorgeous. There's a real draw.
Gorgeous. I mean, I guess I'm a science major. Went to UC Berkeley and we had an anatomy class and we would like pick at these brains. You know, and these brains would be just kind of nasty to look at. You would poke them, but they had gorgeous definition. Like you see veins bulging out. It was kind of nasty, something you'd see like in a gory movie, like Hostel or who knows what. But man, it was gorgeous just to see the veins, and then you could see like the nerve connections to the eyes, and you could see all the veins around the eyes, and that just looked gorgeous to me. Probably not to other people, but.
Really, really tall glass-paned buildings. I would never want to work in one or live in one. I don't find them particularly inspiring to me, but like to see one and to like walk next to one, and there's of course just like throwing light everywhere, and it's just like an amazing feat of like human I mean, it's just like wall of glass. I don't know, I find those pretty gorgeous.
Yeah, sometimes food can be really gorgeous, but really fattening and really not good for you. Sometimes I think a Big Mac looks amazing, gorgeous, but I'm not going to eat it. Lots of pastries and cronuts and things like that. I love the cronut. It's gorgeous. Not going to eat them all the time, though.
Something more along the lines of like Siri for me. It's like Siri. Like seeing that device is supposed to be seen as like, convenience, but it really just disconnects people from one another all the time. Especially as someone who I have to like connect with people on a daily basis.
Oh God. That's hard to think of. Maybe like designer clothes, because I don't really get the stigma around it, but like I can totally appreciate how much work and money goes into them.
So another thing that's really gorgeous to me that people maybe don't quite understand are scars on your wrists. On the outside looking in, people look at these scars and maybe think there's a problem or think they're ugly, and they happen during service when you're running around working really hard, and you might touch the side of the oven, you might pull out a hot pan and get touched. Someone might be walking by you and bump into you, and it's just a little touch, but in the cooking industry, if you work hard, you get them, no matter who you are. And to me, that's gorgeous. When I see a cook come in here and they got nice scars, I automatically know those guys work hard and they've been doing it for a while, and it's gorgeous to me.
I find things that are awkward and strange gorgeous. I find that insects can be extremely gorgeous. They're so intricate and so unfathomable. It's because we can't possibly understand their world. And so I think that's it. It's like gorgeous can kind of stop you short because you can't understand it.
I guess I hate war, but I mean war in its own way has a kind of a terrible beauty to it. Just the violence and the wholesale destruction that human beings can cause is beautiful in a very, very terrible sort of way. I guess that would be beautifully gorgeous, I guess, but in a very, very bad form, I guess.
But for instance, again, here we are in Balmy Alley, where people in this neighborhood have been painting their hearts out on our walls. They're using spectacular colors, and yet the imagery sometimes is the imagery of conflict and struggle and pain. But that expression is gorgeous, so it is both of those things.
Dictatorial couture.
Dictatorial couture?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's just like Kim Jong-un's outfits.
Oh, okay.
Gorgeous.
I would say calluses on my feet. Something that a lot of people, kind of associate calluses on the bottom of your feet as being gross. You might get, pedicure to get them removed, but for me, as a martial artist, they protect me, and they keep my feet from opening up and bleeding when I'm training on hard surfaces. So that's something that I find gorgeous that not a lot of people would appreciate.
I think blood. A lot of people think blood is really gross and something like that. Not a lot of people get to see a lot of blood or get to think about blood a lot. So I think blood is gorgeous because it has mystery behind it.
Any kind of animal that people might think is repulsive, I think is gorgeous. Like a rat, or even a pigeon. You know, people look at pigeons and they think they're just rats with wings. But I can look at a pigeon and go, oh, the coloring on that pigeon's really pretty, or it's gorgeous.
I think when someone sneezes, that is pretty gorgeous. It's kind of gross though. Tar. It's kind of bitter, but still fragrant. Like there's that whole debate with like perfume, how there's always something that's a little bit disgusting that's tossed into the mix. That kind of gives it its own personality. And I think tar does that with me. It just creates a kind of fragrant and almost slightly floral kind of scent, but my mom absolutely hates it. She thinks it's disgusting.
I had done some recovery work after Hurricane Sandy, and so on Long Island it was just, completely destroyed, and on the South Shore, and you just saw these towns that just, it felt like the soul was completely taken out of the town. The people were no longer around, but then you'd see these glimpses and these glimmers of hope within that, and it was these moments where, like, despite all this destruction and just really areas that didn't really have that heart that you used to see, here were these moments where people came together, and you saw families and communities really come together, and even the ashes of some of these homes, it really was this moment of gorgeous.
Like Michael Jackson's
centaur.
whole thing.
Like Michael Jackson
whole
entirely.
thing.
When you see a dead animal on the side of the road or something, obviously it's disgusting, but there is like something about it that is gorgeous because it's just life and death and everything.
Whoa.
Yeah, getting deep here.
Morgana here, okay.
Life. Yeah, it's like this beautiful thing, but then it could be so like, yeah, so yeah.
There's a lot in Hollywood that it actually becomes gorgeous. But this idea of glamour as in Glamour magazine, or like the best friends who fall in love, is so ugly to me. It's so, because it's like the fairy tale without the recognition that it's fake. But show me someone who created themselves. That's more interesting. That's more gorgeous.